Hi, I'm Bianca.
And I'm Siobhán.
And we're Brewed Awakening.
We need the
There
pause.
we go.
That's the magic
And
ingredient.
we're Brewed Awakening.
It's
Now
just a
nailed
podcast.
it. We nailed it twice.
It's just a podcast of us saying it over and over and over and over again.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about
Us.
because there's nothing I love more than talking about myself.
Yeah, me too. I'm a double Leo. So.
I don't know what that
Explains
means
it.
in
Yes, you do.
direct,
Bullshit.
not in like direct correlation to the
She's
topic.
been like, well, it's because I'm a Capricorn.
I literally never say
Well,
that.
you know, like,
I
you know how
never
people-
I hate attributing things to my sign, but I like attributing other people's characteristics to their sign.
I mean,
like,
you know-
oh, that's
You know
a
how people
Cancer.
say, like, Leos are into themselves? So that's why I made that joke. I'm a double Leo, so I
she's
definitely am into myself.
herself.
I'm not, I mean, kind of, but not obsessively. But yeah, so this is our first episode, and we are going to chat about us, so you guys can kind of get to know who we are, because I think we're interesting.
Actually, this technically isn't your first episode.
Yeah, so this technically isn't. We have filmed one already, but the intro was a little flat, but the rest of the podcast was fire. But the intro just needed a little zhuzhing. So this is take 2. And yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about us. You will hear a third voice in our podcast.
and sometimes a fourth.
And sometimes a fourth. So the third voice that you're always going to hear is going to be a female, and that is our director, Alana. Fun fact, she's also my sister. So if you hear the banter, that's just sibling banter. And then the fourth voice, do you want to explain who that is, Bianca?
No, who is that?
Brendan.
That's Brendan. That's my brother. So if you hear that sibling banter, it's just a sibling affair.
Yeah.
If you hear two people screaming at each other,
Then you know it's Brendan and Bianca. And if you hear two people...
to make things awkward as fuck, me and Brendan. Like, people are in the room, let's fight.
So we're your main hosts, but every now and again you'll hear some banter from behind the camera from Alana and Brendan, and they just add to the fun of it all. We're, you know? But why don't we jump into
So
us?
let's talk about us.
who are you?
I'm Bianca. I said that already.
Oh my god.
Okay, so let's talk about... Should we talk about the business first? Should we talk about how we met first?
have to start-
Are you kidding me? We started already.
We waited and waited and waited, and then we're like, we just need to get started. That's Brendan, who we're talking to off camera, in case you're wondering.
So start with your lore first, because then Siobhán comes in because of like what your life.
Lore drop.
I gave birth to her.
Oh god.
So for those of you that don't know, we work for a company called Chado Tea Rooms. They have 4 locations. They're tea rooms that have 4 locations in the LA area. How I became affiliated with Chado is I was born into the family that owns it. So I own Chado.
A Nepo baby.
A Nepo baby.
Oh, we
Don't
love
you
a Nepo
love
baby.
a Nepo baby?
We need to get you the t-shirt.
She's cute. Yeah, okay. I
Freeze frame.
paused for
Freeze frame.
a freeze frame. Yes. Let's take a picture of me. So I am an owner of Chado along with Brendan. We've had the stores for about 30 years. So basically, yeah, I was born into it. It started off with a store on 3rd Street in West Hollywood, which was such a cute little store. I remember my first summer working there. I was 12, so like I don't really know about child labor laws or whatever, but it was very much a family business. Very much family business. We have a business partner who we will get into on another episode because right now we're talking about me. But he's amazing. His story is absolutely incredible, and I actually can't wait to talk about his story. And I'm going to talk about his story because he's way too humble. So, anyway, I was about 12 when I spent a summer working there with my mom, learned so much about tea. so much about the restaurant business, how to run a restaurant, how to do everything there, managing finances, managing inventory. So at 12 years old, that's what I was learning. What were you learning at 12?
Swim. She was competitive swimming.
I learned how to swim at 3 months old. So
No, she was competitive.
Yeah, I was racing.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't asking what she was doing. I was asking the viewers what they were doing.
Oh, I thought you were asking Siobhán.
No, I would have looked
Do you
at
want to
her.
know what I was doing at 12?
No, I wanted to know what the viewers were doing at 12. It was a rhetorical question.
Drop in the comments what you were doing at 12.
Need an answer. Nobody needed to answer.
This is a lore drop episode, so.
Okay.
Lore drop, I was a competitive swimmer at 12. There you go. You were learning how to run a business. I was competitively swimming. There you go.
Nice.
Lore drop.
Both very active things.
Yeah.
I like it. So then at 16, I managed the store on my own. I had a car, so I was able to drive to and from. So that was the first summer that I actually... Are you kidding me right now?
He really doesn't care about what you have to say, so he's just going to make a
We're
bunch of
trying to
noise.
film a podcast episode. Are you giving us microphones?
Okay, don't yell at him if he's going to give us nice things.
I can't really see what he's doing because there's a giant glare in the window. I can't see what you're doing.
It's mics.
I can only hear you.
They're mics. We get to hold mics.
This is too big.
No.
Wait. So it's not actually plugged into anything, right?
Well, what's going on?
Because I wanted to have one hand where the end of the cord is. Anyway, so that was at 12. When I was 16, that was the first time that I ran the tea room on my own. That summer, after high school, I was at the tea room every single day, running it. How did I get actually involved? I went to school in Rochester. I'll wrap this up real quick because they don't want me talking anymore.
You're going to realize real quick that we rag each other and we really don't mean it at the end of the day.
I think you should. Okay, let me just hurry up and finish this.
No, we just joke a lot.
Let me
you'll come
hurry
to learn
up and
that.
finish this. Okay, so I went to school for business management because my entire life,
Speak your truth.
Oh, okay. Stop. Okay, my God. I can't with the interrupting because I am losing my train of thought and I'm never going to finish this. Okay. I went to school for business management because if I haven't made it clear enough, I've been doing that since I'm 12 years old. The plan always was to kind of go into the business, help take over the business. But no, when I was 22, I was working with my dad for about, I want to say 6 months or so. Wanting to take over the business until, unfortunately, he passed away, super suddenly and unexpectedly. So I was kind of just thrown into the family businesses, needing to run it at 22 years old. And I honestly was I knew a lot about the business, but it became very clear that I did not know enough. But I learned a lot. I worked really hard at it. When, I want to say 6 to 9 months in, I called my brother, Brendan, and was like, I can't do this anymore. I need your help. I need you to move home. Meanwhile, he's trying to get his PhD, and I'm so lucky he came back, and best and worst decision I ever did was calling him to come back home. So, because now we fight all the time.
Brendan, are you going to defend your name a little later, or?
No, that's how it happened.
Yeah, that's how it happened. I think he would probably say the same. Best and worst decision he made was coming back. So
now he gets to work with us 3 ladies all the time, and I don't know if he regrets that one or not, but
So now fast forward from there about, 4 or 5 years, I was introduced to a lovely Irish woman, Siobhán.
Well, actually, we go back a little further than that. We wound up going to the same high school, but didn't know each other in high school.
Never knew she existed.
Yeah, I was a year above you.
Yeah.
So
Didn't know who she was.
didn't know each other.
It's like the red string theory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had no idea who.
Yeah, we had
was, yeah.
mutuals.
We had mutual.
Probably
friends.
walked past you
Oh,
competitively
a
in the
million.
hallway.
We competitively in the hallway. Yeah, just
She was in her competitive era.
Yeah, she was in her competitive era. I could probably see me being very intimidated by her. Actually,
the girl with the ribbons in her hair and a golf polo and a little golf skirt on. So intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah, Kai, I mean, you've got these eyes, and you did the eyeliner she's Yeah.
I like competition. What can I say? But anyway, so that's kind of like the first little bit of connection there is we went to the same high school.
Yeah, I was actually shocked to find out. But the reason that we were actually hiring, I was hiring at the time, and through a mutual friend of ours who worked for me at the time, she was
Can we give her a shout out? Do you think she would mind? Shout out to Penelope. We love her.
We love her. She was my best friend's little sister, and her little sister's best friend. So, kind of funny, yes.
Yeah.
That's so funny when you put it like that.
I know. Right. It all goes back to the little sisters.
Yeah. So
You're more important than we think you are.
You're welcome.
So she was working for me, and she was just doing an internship. She was going to leave to go off to pharmacy school, which she's now a doctor. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
But
Write us prescriptions. No, I'm just kidding.
cut that out. Yeah,
For what?
I don't know.
birth control, Narcan. Well, actually, I did ask her what she can write prescriptions for, and she said birth control and Narcan. So I was like,
That's like two very like broad ends of the spectrum. But anyway,
she was like, nothing useful is what was her answer.
two of probably some of the most useful things you could ever use.
No, I think her thing was nothing fun, you know?
Oh yeah, like nothing.
Drugs are
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Anyway,
But so she introduced me to Siobhán, saying that, oh, you know, my friend Siobhán, she hosts a tea every year, Christmas tea every year. And I was like, oh, shoot, somebody who drinks tea, like, hired. And so I did meet, I met Siobhán. She was great, had a great personality. At the time, she was working at a spin studio. That's where I met her, I think, the first time.
yeah, you came. I was managing the spin studio, and you and Emma came, which is
Yes.
Penelope's older sister. And that's the first time I met you guys. Nearly.
Did you do a spin?
Yes, they
I
took
sure
a spin
did.
class.
How did you feel?
I was laughing the whole time, so it was definitely an ab workout.
Did you feel
and-
sad?
Yeah, a spin, if you've never taken a
I
spin
felt
class,
fun.
they're hard work. And then I went on to be running the spin studio as well as running a yoga studio. And I was doing both of those at the same time. And it's funny because I can remember I was throwing my Christmas tea that year. It was 2019. And Penelope said to me at the Christmas tea, she's like, you know, Bianca's hiring, and I think you would love it because you love throwing afternoon tea and doing recipes and all of this kind of stuff. And my imposter syndrome was like, no, like, I'm not good enough for that. And I was like, she's like, I can like put a good word in for you. And I was like, no, like, it's okay. I don't think I'd be good enough. Little did I know she still put in a good word for me. So Penelope, I love you. And that was like the week before Christmas of 2019. New Year's Day, I'm at the Gene Autry Museum in LA, and I get a text message from Bianca. And you were like, hey, so we're hiring. Do you want to come in and interview?
Yep.
And I was like freaking out in the Gene Autry Museum with my boyfriend, who's my now husband. I was like, oh my God, you'll never believe. I just got a text message from Bianca.
Such a niche experience to be freaking out at the Gene Autry Museum.
Well, I mean, it kind of like tracks for me. If you can't tell, I like cowboys and Western
The
things.
most exciting thing at that museum.
So it tracks for me, okay? But so, and then I remember I was supposed to go in and interview with you, and then it turned into a phone interview.
Yes, because I had to go. I was like driving back from like, I don't know, an event or a funeral, something.
It was a
like that.
funeral.
Funeral, yeah. And little did she know, I was so nervous for this interview.
And I was
like, what if
nervous.
she doesn't accept? I'm desperate for a hire. I need somebody. Like, what if she just says no? What if she doesn't like my offer? What if she, oh my God, like, what if I don't ask the right questions? What? I'm freaking out
I was freaking out.
for totally different reasons. Like, I don't know. There was something about her. Like, I wanted to impress her. She wanted to impress me. And I gave her an offer on the spot. But keep it, like, I knew I was going to hire you. Like, there's no need to have that interview. Like, I knew I was going to hire you.
I just had to, for
Yeah.
legal reasons.
I had to do an
Little
interview.
did I know.
I don't even think I asked you, like, so what do you do right now? Like, and then you went and you talked about your, you know, doing the spin studio and the yoga studio. Okay, so here's the offer. Make this much and this much, and this is what you're going to be doing. This is what we have. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then she
like,
started
spiraled
like a
from
month
there.
later. I
Yeah,
think.
February. I started actually right after Super Bowl weekend, but it was kind of fun because 2 days before I started, we actually went to Disney.
That's right.
You,
That's right.
me, Emma, Alana,
That's right.
Michaela. I don't think Penelope was there.
I don't think
No,
I think she was in
already
San Diego.
Yeah.
But we had like
she stays haunting the narrative.
She does.
Yeah.
Penelope's always going to be in the background somewhere. But yeah, we went to Disney,
That's right.
and then I started like 2 days later.
What's funny is I don't know if we can keep this part in, but we did an edible together, and we held a bonded at Disney by doing an edible together, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew that.
Brendan, can we keep that in?
I think it's fine.
I think it's
We're in
fine.
California.
I was going to say, it's
2024.
California. It's not like
I mean, I don't condone doing drugs with your boss. Unless it's me and you're offering it to me.
As someone who deals with anxiety, I've never felt more at peace in my entire life. So,
And she's been at peace ever since.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of how we met. She started and she...
5 years now.
Yeah, it's been 5 years almost in February.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome. Like, we've done so much stuff. We've had tons of fun. I was the witness at her wedding.
Yep. That's a story for another time.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
And we've just had lots of like, so I want to circle back to her hosting Christmas teas every year, and how last year was the first time she actually threw one that I went to, because obviously COVID hit, and then she couldn't do it, and then there was one year that she could do it, but she just refused to.
I was getting married on New Year's Day, so I kind of didn't have the time to host a Christmas tea
She was planning a wedding.
2 weeks before my wedding.
This is a hill I will die on. I remember it differently.
Because my Christmas tea takes a solid 2 weeks to plan. Like, I start December
Very
1,
professional.
and
I will say it was totally worth it last year when she threw it. And again this year she's not throwing it because
I'm moving.
Yeah, whatever. So
I will
anyway.
throw one next year.
Well, what you should do is like a New Year's tea.
That's my anniversary.
I don't know why you had to make all the holidays about yourself.
Seriously.
Take that up with my husband.
No, it was you. I'm not taking that up with
Well,
you.
no, he asked me to be his girlfriend on January 1, and then I thought it was a cute anniversary, and it worked out that we could get.
Also the anniversary of you getting the job offer. So you should do
Yeah,
a tea,
so-
because I came first.
You got hired.
So
So now we kind of handle. So now we do not kind of. We handle
Kinda.
the content, the marketing, a lot of like the ideas, and a lot of just like
Creative.
idea generation for Chado Tea Rooms. So if you're in the LA area, check them out, because that's what we do.
and I think we should preface why we're sitting here on a couch with microphones, though. Like how we got how we got here,
You're sitting here with microphones because Bianca specifically asked for a mic.
and because Brendan brought them today. But anyway, so we're also involved in another company called TeaVendor, and about a year and a half ago, Brendan came to us and was like, "Let's make a YouTube channel." So that came into being, and we started making YouTube videos it was August of 2023, and that was just on the fly. I've watched a lot of YouTube in my life. Like, I'm a big YouTube person, but it was a whole different experience actually being the person who was getting recorded for those YouTube videos. I have to give them a lot of props, all these YouTubers, because it's a learning
lot.
curve. Yeah.
So I actually want to talk a little bit about TeaVendor, just because we had just mentioned another company. So I'll give you a quick kind of background as to what TeaVendor is. That is also my family's company, which started off as an importing, exporting tea company that my dad and my mom, like, they both started both of the companies at the same time, Chado Tea Room and TeaVendor. So Chado Tea Room was like more customer facing as a brick and mortar, an online store. And TeaVendor, formerly known as International Tea Importers, was the wholesale company that supplied to Chado and other like businesses. So that's where we started doing the YouTube videos and stuff from. And yeah, from there it just morphed into, well, let's add on a podcast, because it's not like we have enough to do.
because we're great. That's why.
It's not like we're doing millions of projects at once.
Like, well, but I think we should talk a little bit about the YouTube channel and how that kind of journey, I think the last year and a couple of months has been, because it's been, I think for me, it's been probably one of the most fun, exciting projects I've been involved in.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a celebrity. Of course it's fun.
Of course, yeah. Of course you would go about being a celebrity. But when we first started, it was you and me and Alana and a friend of ours, Jake. Shout out to Jake. And it was the four of us just trying to figure it out, essentially.
And that was a really interesting conversation, because Brendan was literally like, okay, we're going to fly Jake out here and you guys have 1 week to make 50 videos. And
to make 50 videos
is wild now that
Brendan, can I tell you something? When you said that, internally, I was panicked, and visually, outside, I was like, you got it, Brendan, no worries. Internally, I was like,
no, internally, I was like, yes, absolute 50 videos, say less. We've got it.
And then we quickly realized that was not possible.
Yeah, look, it's not my fault that you guys just say yes to everything I say.
We're willing to try anything once.
Now I will happily say no. Now I know what it
Those first 2 rounds of filming.
I do remember how panicked Siobhán was when she realized that we were not going to get 50 videos done.
I got 25 done.
We did do quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I think she was so disappointed in herself. So fuck you, Brendan, because she was so upset with herself.
I'm sorry. It's your job as their manager to set
But
expectations.
you know what? They want to impress you so bad. Like, I could care less.
Listen,
right?
you
Like,
guys
you're
know
my
this.
brother, so-
It's older child
But she,
thing.
no, but she
Failure
she just
doesn't
didn't wanna let you
exist.
down. Like, that's
Yeah.
what we love about her. That's why we keep her around. Like, she is genuine, like, just motivated on her own to do stuff. And she didn't want to disappoint you so badly. And I was like, if we can't do it, we can't do it. It's 25 videos. That's still a lot, whatever. But oh my God, it was a lot that week. It was, oh my God.
By the end of it, I think we were just all so exhausted and just like mentally and
I
physically.
didn't want to talk to you guys for the week after I didn't talk to you.
Do you remember I had come in and the first thing I said to the two of you, though, is that most likely, because I went to film school, we're not going to make 50 videos in a week.
Yeah.
And Siobhán was like, I've planned it out. Like, we could do it if we're here from this time to that time. And I'm just standing there and I'm just like, I'm going to tell you
like,
right
I have
now,
a
it's
schedule.
not feasible. And that's
I
okay.
think that, like, no, but yeah.
I'm like, if we go by this.
Brendan, she took your 50 videos like the holy grail. She was like, we're going to do it. We're going to do if Brendan wants it, we're going to do 50 videos.
I like drove back with her and she was like, we can still do the 50 videos. And I said, Siobhán, we can't. And it's okay. Because we're going to work anyway.
See, it's that like, that's okay. The competitive side of me, right? Where it's like you have something in your head and you have a goal, and if you don't reach that goal, then it's failure, regardless of like how good you did.
We would not have left that building.
Oh no, if it was up to me that first go around, y'all would have slept there.
I think we could have done
Actually insane.
we could have done 50 videos if they weren't like we were baking cakes, we were doing
we were doing the most.
I'm still going to correct you guys. You still would not have been able to do 50.
We could have done maybe 50 latte videos. But also, we didn't have like a sink where we could, and we were like, me and her, we would have to like clean everything after each and every video. And it was taking like 3 hours to do the video. And then on top of that, we had to do retakes because it was our first go around. We were nervous. We were not natural.
I'm telling you, as someone who does no production, you would not.
Okay,
we wouldn't.
Okay, let me rephrase it. We could have gotten closer to 50 videos if we weren't doing.
I think the 25 was probably the
In my
closest.
defense, I'm pretty sure I said at least 25 of those could be shorts.
Oh, he did say that, didn't he?
Did you? I don't remember. Listen, after that first week of filming, I basically disassociated so hard.
Wait, hang on.
To be honest, I feel like Brendan just throws a big number out there, and however much you get him, he's like, I'm still happy with it, but I feel like he throws a big number out there just to see if anyone wants to
fuck with your mind.
Yeah.
Just to mess with you. Because
You know, like the puppet masters?
He knows that you're not going to reach that amount. So you're always going to feel like you did like less than you were asked of.
Yeah, like when I
And
screw
you're
up
always
something.
just, maybe this is just me as
All
a
right,
little
guys, we have to
sister.
cut this section out of the podcast because
And Anyway, moving on.
This is maybe just me as a little sister. Like, I want to also impress my big brother, but he just gives you this like outrageous like number that I know that he knows is not going to happen. But I'm always like,
Can I say something?
I'm always wanting his approval. What?
We've come far.
I thought that it was kind of universally understood that 50 was a tentative number.
Yeah, but still, like, if my brother asked for 50 videos, I'm going to do the 50 videos just so he could say, good job.
Again,
Or just the nod.
in a week, you would not have been able to.
No, we wouldn't have.
Whatever.
Like looking
No,
back
but,
at
like,
it, no, it
The
wasn't
thing is,
plausible.
If we were Warner Brothers and there was a massive production team, sure, you could do 50 videos in a week because
Easy.
you
Yeah.
have people doing all the other jobs. The three of us, the four of us, were doing the jobs of like multiple people.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just starting this. So
Yeah, we were learning.
that's why I keep trying to say like
That
we would not have
was
been able to
rough.
do
And then also in the middle of it, we'd have like meetings in between.
Yeah, we didn't
Like,
learn.
I had like other company meetings
Yeah.
I had to be in.
It was a really fun experience though.
It was
Yeah.
like I look back on it now and I wouldn't change a single thing. Like, because I think it was like
It was really funny.
it was one of those things where you either sink or you swim, and I think you learn a lot when you either sink or swim. And I think we
You swam
learned a lot.
competitively, so how could you sink?
I don't,
That was a bad joke.
but
Really bad joke.
but I think I
For
think
you? You could have done better.
Sarcastic.
You could have done better.
It was sarcastic.
I think it was a great learning
Plugging
curve.
your mic. I'm doing it.
Every time I'm mean to the director, she threatens to unplug my mic.
I think it was a great learning curve. We the second time around we started filming. I think it was September of 20. It was September of
Yeah, and I want to
2022.
say that Brendan still gave us an outrageous number.
But we were a little less panicked because I remember saying to you, like, Bianca, what we get done is what we
I
get
think we
done.
did 25 videos the first time, and then Brendan was like, okay, well, then maybe you guys can do 30 this time. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and also, mind you, that we had to wait we had like 2 days that week where we actually couldn't do anything. So it was only 5 days of filming. 2 days we couldn't do anything because we had like an issue with the microphones or the
Oh, the
camera or
lighting.
The lighting. So
Yeah.
actually, we did 25 videos in 3 days, which
We learned a lot.
is wild. So I think that's why Brendan was like, well, now you guys have everything you need and now you know how it's going to work. So you can do 30.
We're stronger for it, okay?
There he goes again. Did you have something to say, Brendan?
No, I just want to I want to conclude this by saying maybe next time you guys could do a little bit better. I'm just saying my approval is worth a lot and you guys should be craving it.
What is that, like narcissism?
So
sorry. Okay.
the YouTube channel, it turned into,
podcast.
this podcast.
Yes.
So in this podcast, we'll be talking about what's going on in the world of tea, but the drama of the world of tea. We'll be reacting to some fun TikToks and memes. We'll be
history
talking
of
about
tea.
history. We'll be
The
talking
etiquette of
about
tea,
The conspiracy theories of tea.
spilling the tea.
spilling the tea. We'll be looking back at some of our YouTube videos and talking about the recipes and maybe some behind the scenes of those.
And you can find our all of our TeaVendor videos and Chado videos on TeaVendor's YouTube, which is just at TeaVendor. So
Which
Real
is where
simple.
they'll see it if they're watching
Yeah.
it right now too.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So yeah, we're just here. We're going to be your neighborhood tea people, and you never know what we're going to say,
Next.
especially Bianca.
I don't like to think before I speak. I like being just as shocked as everyone else by what
Speak
comes
your
out of my
truth, girl.
mouth.
Preach.
Pop off, Bianca.
Pop out. Attitude, then walk off.
Nepo baby.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.